I spent a good part of my playthrough of White Shadows in a sort of trance, hypnotised by some of its awe-inspiring moments, which there are many. From the off, the game wears its influences on its sleeve. If you were to tell me Playdead, the makers of Limbo and Inside, had developed the game, I'd believe you, as I feel it's much like those games in both style and tone. Like those, and the similarly unsettling Little Nightmares, the story is told through actions rather than words, and it's one that slowly reveals itself over the course of 5 chapters. There's no tutorial, with the player forced to discover the controls and mechanics of the game themselves. Our protagonist is a Ravengirl, thrust into a dystopian world called the White City, which is controlled by wolves. The plot takes influence from George Orwell's 1940s Animal Farm, a novella where animals usurp the humans on the farm for a better life. In that tale, the famous slogan, "all animals are equal," quickly gets the contradictory addendum, "but some are more equal than others," showing how ideals are quickly corrupted. Like Orwell's story, the world of White Shadows is one where equality is but an illusion. Orwell's maxim features, but in this game, it's the birds that are the pariahs, with our Ravengirl cast as a possible saviour. To say any more would spoil the story, but be prepared for a modern fable that's relatable and filled with social criticism. Controlling Ravengirl will feel familiar to anyone who's played Inside. With the controller, you move using the left analog stick and have one button to jump and one to interact with objects in the environment. Typical platformer mechanics feature, certainly at the start, with pulling levers, pushing crates and making death-defying jumps. Puzzles are more like little hurdles than brain conundrums. You'll initially think you've seen it all before, but just you wait. There are surprising changes to the core mechanics later in the game, including things I've not seen in similar 2.5D platformers before. The film noir aesthetic reminded me of 1930s black and white movie, Metropolis, with elements of Bioshock and even Blade Runner thrown into the mix, particularly with the verticality of White City's towers that rise into the sky and the ubiquitous advertisement hoardings. White Shadows is a truly cinematic experience with the way the camera zooms in and out as you move Ravengirl around the city. The sheer level of detail in every frame of the game is impressive. With so much going on in the foreground and background, the city really does feel alive. The music is also memorable, with dramatic moments set to classical pieces, such as Wagner's Ride of the Valkyrie and Strauss's The Blue Danube. So, what might you not like about White Shadows? Well, I imagine some may find the gameplay a little slow and the puzzles a little too simplistic. The black and white graphics are a little grainy, even on high resolutions, making identifying your character a bit difficult at times. The game's length may also be a put-off for some. I finished White Shadows in 1-2.5 hours sitting, and while that may seem short, the game never outstays its welcome. There's no filler, I was never bored but captivated from start to finish. And don't forget, Inside and Limbo can both be completed in a couple of hours, and they're both hailed as indie classics. So see this as an interactive movie, and a beautiful one at that. It's come late in the year, but White Shadows is definitely a Game of the Year contender, certainly for me, and I expect it will feature in some people's year-end lists. It's available now on the PC, PS5 and Xbox Series S and Series X. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to I Love Indies and hit that like button. You can also follow me on Twitter for curated indies of the day and some super giveaways. My Twitter handle is @IndiesLove. I'll be back very soon with more indie gaming goodness. Until the next video, keep loving indies.